All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 8. All right,
oh boy.
So we got ourselves a dinner of sorts.
Indeed.
At the Jacques Schnee Manor.
This almost feels like This Life Is Mine Weiss performance level of foreshadowing, but not really foreshadowing, just saying that something's coming with the Schnees.
Right, exactly.
I am so excited for how this will go down. This is gonna be great.
In some ways, I like the idea also of it being something where it's far more stiff and just stifled and passive aggressive and full of little intrigue,
dripping
with drama.
And
backhanded compliments and all kinds of just sassy. I love it. I love it. I eat that shit up. Okay, so we want to have a little bit more I would say, movement, the agency of the characters, like what we got with Yang and Blake in the previous episode, because there's a lot of things that have been set up, but only specific things that have been capitalizing on that setup, like with Tyrion and the villains in this situation here. But because Watts is probably going to be there, that's something
whether
where
visibly
we can,
or otherwise.
That's something where we can end up getting into some really cool, who knows what, who doesn't know what, all that jazz.
What are we gonna do about this?
So, y'all, without further ado, let's jump right into this.
So, how do you think this is gonna go? Do you think it'll be an action? It will end violently, or it'll be still political to the very end?
No, I think that the majority, if not all of it, will actually be dialogue.
Okay.
I think the RWBY has enough characters in it that, depending on who's actually allowed in to the party.
Yeah, that's another great question.
It depends on basically which conversations they want to start.
Yeah.
And then focus on. But I would say the big thing we can count on is meeting other council members. So there will be even more.
Wait, we're gonna find out who's on the Tal'Dorei. I mean, the council.
Yes. I know. But wait, that's illegal.
I just want to see a point where Queen Weiss basically backhand bitch slaps Jock.
Yes. Okay. But you know who it's actually going to be?
Yeah.
This is who it's actually going to be. It's going to be Whitley, and then Whitley's gonna say something super depressing, and we're gonna be like, buddy.
Well, or something that's very telling. Like if he does the thing where he slips a napkin to Weiss to help us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be man.
Right. But I think that would be cool, but I want to see Weiss just in any conversation.
Oh yeah.
I don't really care what context it is right now at this point. Okay.
Only my father would turn a hostile takeover into a fluffy PR move. On the news, he said he just wanted to break bread and hash things out. Maybe it won't be so bad. We do want the general to start opening up to these people, right?
Yeah, but on his terms. Ironwood's going to be locked in a room at his rival's own dinner party.
Yeah.
Jacques says he's happy to moderate, but all that really means is he'll be the one controlling the conversation.
Yeah.
Not hard to imagine how that's gonna play out.
I still can't believe he won. Robin was supposed to be the people's champion, wasn't she? There's just too many coincidences.
You really think your dad might have something to do with Salem?
I think my father would do whatever it takes to win. And we should do the same. Meaning?
Well, no one knows your dad better than you. And out of everyone going tonight, I'd say you're the only one who could snoop around the house and not be questioned. If Jacques Schnee's up to something,
Okay.
I think we should know what it is.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Squad is assembling and having a plan before going in.
Ooh, that is an estate.
Yeah. Oh, the Aesops are actually brought here too?
Right, because it's a formal procession after all.
Yeah, they're special
Smile for the
military.
cameras.
Yeah.
Sir, with all due respect, you'd have to pay me.
Oh my god! She is literally channeling Olivier Armstrong right there.
Yeah.
Sir, with all due respect, you'd have to pay me. That line.
Good evening, everyone.
Right out the gate.
Where's Klein?
Literally.
What an interesting way to say, hello, dear brother. How have you been?
What a prick.
I'm afraid you won't find him here. He was let go.
Oh.
I can't imagine why.
Oh, yeah.
Because he helped her escape, yeah.
Exactly how large do you think our dining room table
Ah!
is?
I happen to know it's enormous, but most of my guests will be on standby in case the council requests additional eyewitnesses. Until then, I'm sure they'll be happily celebrating your father's victory.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was amazing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shout out to RWBY for just having scenes like this be possible.
For those of you
though.
joining us in the dining room,
Like
please
this-
follow me.
This looks so much better than it was in
Wish
Volume
us
4.
luck.
I mean, they already invited you, didn't they?
Is that flirting?
We got all
Care for a
kinds of
drink,
people
sir?
here. Oh.
No, thanks.
Oh.
I think I'll just stick to patrolling the grounds.
Oh.
Words out of my mouth.
Right, well, don't wander off, don't break anything, and be ready in case the general calls on you.
Feel free to actually
Hors
break
d'oeuvres?
something, you know.
Let's see them out of house and home.
Wait.
Counterpoint. You wander off, consider breaking things, and then all that other stuff.
Yes, Yang! That was
Dear
amazing.
sister,
Okay, good. Let's do this
I was
now.
hoping we could use this time to catch up.
Oh, I'm going to be keeping an eye on
I
you.
have to know. Why did you go through so much trouble to leave home, only to come crawling back?
This might be a problem.
General
No,
Ironwood.
this is actually good.
Please.
Oh.
Have a seat.
Cool.
Okay.
So Robin's here.
Councilman Sleet. Councilwoman Camilla.
Councilwoman Hill would have had a nice ring to it. Though I suppose I should just be grateful I got invited to the table.
Miss Hill, that vigor of yours is precisely why we're grateful to have you with us tonight.
Dude looks like Bill Clinton.
What is she doing here?
What
Wait.
we're all doing here, James.
Oh.
Addressing the concerns
Oh.
of our kingdom. Which means
Maybe.
we have much to discuss.
Indeed. I was hoping we could start by...
Are we safe with her here, by the way? I do recall some confusion regarding her involvement in that horrific massacre.
Wow.
As the official report stated, that footage was doctored. Penny is completely under my control.
Which is concerning, I think.
Concerning?
Let's talk about exactly what it is you control.
That's
Okay.
that was a good segue.
Why don't this kid buzz off?
We need to do something.
He's her brother.
What was that earlier about breaking things?
Nora! Oh my gosh. Wait.
Well, Whitley, I'm sure the company is lucky to have you.
Wait,
But if you'll
wait.
pardon me.
And where exactly is it that you're going?
What?
Mashy food coming through!
Right, the company has promised.
Oh my god, yes!
Care for a drink?
Don't mind if I do.
Oh, that voice, yes!
Oh no, look out!
I'm going to go get some more.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh.
Ah!
If you'll excuse me.
That was great.
And then the food is gone.
Yeah.
Magically.
Fact of the matter is,
But yeah,
you've
no, I
operated
already
with
ate
a
it.
fair amount of autonomy for the past few years, James. But what we need now is for you to work with us.
Sir, I have...
It's obvious that no kingdom intends to declare war on Atlas. We had no involvement in the incident at Haven. We have proof our drones weren't acting on orders at Beacon. At this point, the closure of Atlas borders is only serving to hurt our relations with the rest of the world.
The rest of the world? It's hurting us. The people of Atlas are suffering, and they want to know why.
Quite right, Miss Hill. And I'm afraid there's more than just your choices that have brought harm to our citizens as of late. Have your forces found any additional evidence as to who is slaughtering innocent civilians down in Mantle?
That is an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
The details of which are classified, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid of the ever-growing list of classified information you seem to be keeping. I asked our fellow councilman here to shed some light on your Amity Coliseum project.
It's her father and just...
They know about as much as I do.
Even you don't know?
The Amity Project will help with all of the issues you presented. But you have to understand that discretion is a top priority at this time.
Are you saying you don't trust us?
You can't just buy trust like everything else. You have to earn it.
Whoa. Yeah. And he was waiting for that.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
General, if I may be blunt, you have spent what little trust this council had left in you. The hacker who turned Atlas drones against us was never captured. Whoever's been murdering your critics is still at large. How are we supposed to give you our trust when you've given us nothing as of late?
That's not what...
Winter.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Oh, crap. This is bad. Yeah, we have to hunker down. Yeah. Uh-oh. 3 glasses. 3 glasses. There's a lot more than 3 people there.
Yeah.
That means they're for specific people. Oh, wait. I have to...
Is everything okay?
I'm fine,
I have to go back and
thank
look
you.
at those pictures.
Keep up the great work.
There were plenty of things there. Okay.
Hello, darling.
Mom? Oh, it is. Oh.
Are you okay?
Oh, sweet.
I'll be fine. I just let my emotions get the better of me.
What do you mean?
You wouldn't understand.
Oh.
Maybe she would.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
No. What I mean is, this place holds a lot of memories
there you
for
go.
me specifically.
Good way to spin that
I thought
back,
I was in control, but you heard me. I sounded like a petulant child.
I thought you sounded fine. You were just speaking from your heart.
And that is precisely the problem. I should have just stayed in line.
I guess you're right. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't come down for your party. I'm afraid I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
It's okay, Mom. It's fine.
Give us a close-up. Okay.
What
Oh.
are you doing in your father's office?
Oh.
Just looking for something I left.
That's right, you left.
Yeah.
You left.
Wow.
I need to use Father's computer.
Why?
Because I think he may have done something. Something wrong.
I thought we all simply assumed that at this point.
Yes, well, some of us are trying to do something about it.
Oh.
He started locking his home computer. But
it
still has blind spots.
You put a camera in here?
I put them in every room of this house.
Oh!
For our safety, in case I ever needed.
Oh, Mom! Oh,
You
Mom!
haven't come back to stay, have you?
Oh,
No.
Mom!
Good.
Oh.
A man came by.
Yes.
I'm afraid your father may be involved in something more dangerous than he realizes.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, Weiss, please don't forget about your brother.
Whitley wants nothing to do with me.
Of course not. You left him alone. With us.
Oh, that was so good.
Wow.
That was so good.
Who are you?
Yes, play the video.
Okay.
Play the video. He looks like he's about to, like, Crollo symphony.
Yeah.
You know, like,
just wave his hand and everything goes dark.
Yeah.
There's about to be an attack.
Well, this is where you get the power, basically, to, like, certain... Whoa. The rain was artificial? Now it's snow.
Hey,
oh!
It's snowing!
Oh! Because they were talking about the heating grid in the previous episode.
Oh, shoot.
So, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it wasn't that it was artificial, is that by the time it came down...
Yeah, wow.
It was getting...
Okay, yeah, because, right, it's there in a hostile environment. And it's about to freeze over. Oh, boy.
Okay. Wow. I really loved the design for Mama Schnee, though.
Oh, yeah. Just in general, this episode was visually stunning. But I love how the bad guys and the good guys are both making big wins here.
What was the good guys' win other than basically Mom and Weiss?
Well, mainly that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay, so
wow.
We've got our dinner party episode. We have passive-aggressive comments, backhanded compliments. We got sassy Weiss. We've got some surprises here.
Yeah.
Biggest one being Mama Schnee is not only in the episode, which I like that it's just like, okay, cool, we get to see her finally.
She would be here, yeah.
Yeah. But and we didn't know what capacity, but it seems like there were a couple assumptions being made about the Schnee family that aren't really accurate. Or it's more like, from a certain point of view, they're accurate. But from Mama Schnee's perspective, she's a prisoner in her own home.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that she has no power, but it's that she probably got tired of fighting.
Right.
And the means by which she would win are either too costly or she's not able to make that fight. So she drinks to survive.
Right.
She put cameras all over the house in case.
That is awesome.
That is amazing.
And that's also terrifying.
It's also terrifying for them. But then we have Whitley in this situation, who we get to have him at the gate, you know, and it makes sense. And then we get to see, literally, he was in some ways the main focal point of the episode. He had 3 very key kind of perspective moments there. One where he's being the greeter.
Right.
You know.
And then, of course, the foil to Weiss that gets foiled by Junior now.
Orange.
What we're calling Orange. Yeah.
Orange. Or Junior. Right. Yeah, either one works. Yeah. Right. It could just be Juniper, actually. Someone was saying that because Oscar's, I think it's Oscar's last name.
Although orange is a color, so yeah, Team Orange, yeah.
Okay. But they end up that poor melodious Alice woman.
But,
my voice is so low.
But I love the immediate diving into antics of, okay, how do we do this? We got a plan. Yeah. And then just Nora stacks up a ton of food. And
oh no!
Wow!
It reminds me, in some ways, I have to know, Kruby. Someone, like, you know, just say it on your Twitter. You don't have to answer us specifically. But I have to know, was that scene with Nora specifically designed with the dumb, in my opinion, dumb meme of the people throwing up the milk cartons in the grocery store and then like slipping fake and then they fall and the milk just goes everywhere there. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Kind of, not really.
Oh, okay, because the way Nora did it seemed very similar to that. And It's a recent thing, so I don't know. But then Whitley, not in the scene, but being mentioned by Mama Schnee.
Yep.
That don't forget about your brother.
Right. That I liked that. I liked that a lot.
That's a good way to recontextualize him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a little shitly, but he's alone.
Right.
And the way Mama Schnee talks about it as if she can't really help is really painful because I would say I know what she means. I get it. One, Whitley probably doesn't let her help him.
Sure.
Two, she probably doesn't have the greatest capacity to help him with the specific things that he's dealing with.
Sure.
Because she might have given up on her fight with those things.
Yeah.
So any advice she would have or help in those areas might seem disingenuous and or hypocritical maybe. But that was a good way to end the episode.
That was really good. They now have video evidence of Watt's meeting with Papa Schnee.
But we don't know if they have microphones. They probably do, but yeah.
Either way, that's proof that one, he is still around and he's here specifically, right? And once they have a face on who's causing a lot of the trouble, I think it'll get a lot easier to deal with the trouble.
Right. The problem is that what happens when Watts has finished his mission and he can just leave and be like, I don't care if you know who I am. I did my part here. I'm done.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Will they be able to catch up fast enough? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because they are behind in a lot of things here.
Yeah. But that's something that Jacques doesn't know about, that Watts doesn't know about, so they don't necessarily they think they're in the safe zone right now, right? That they have the momentum, they're on the offensive. Because they really are. Mm-hmm. But there's those darn kids, right, are working around the clock behind the scenes, so
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. We got ourselves also a council meeting of sorts that seems, I would say, more or less kind of a way to do exactly what they thought, would happen, which was Jacques basically prepping Ironwood to fall into a trap of sorts.
Right.
It's a trap of verbal variety. Now we have Councilman Sleet and Councilman Camilla. Sleet being Snow. That was a fun one there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Willow Schnee, voiced by Caitlin Glass.
Glass.
That's awesome. Well done, Caitlin Glass. You did a fantastic job voicing.
Excellent job.
Voicing Willow Schnee. Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
I gotta say, one of the other moments that I really liked that I didn't expect to happen was the conversation between Winter and Penny.
Yeah.
That was something where I was like, okay, this is really good, right? Because they're two people that have wholly put their trust in Ironwood, right? And how do they feel about that, right? In different ways, and with all the complications that happen and things like that, and the fact that in a lot of ways they're both very similar and polar opposites. right.
Good one.
Because you've got Penny, who's the robot, right? And she's the robot, but she has feelings, but then how does she, she grapples with those, right?
Yep.
And then you have Winter, who is fiery, but becomes ice, right? And so it's them both going in sort of opposite directions on the emotional spectrum as far as where they feel they need to shore up their defenses.
Yep.
And so it creates this great conflicting conversation where you have essentially the child, right, in Penny,
for sure,
giving some words of wisdom in a lot of ways to Winter, right? Even though Penny doesn't exactly know what to say, she has, in a lot of ways, a better understanding of what's going on and stuff than Winter does, right? Winter's thinking, I shouldn't have said that. That wasn't good, whatever. And while it did give Jacques ammunition, Penny's like, no.
Yeah.
You said good things.
Right.
And now they just need to trust that hopefully Ironwood will be able to, maneuver the situation.
Yeah.
Very strong possibility that it won't.
I personally love that there's actually a lot of little elements in play. I feel like the writing of what they've done in these first 7 episodes has basically put a bunch of little moving pieces out there that all could have relevance at any given point, which makes my kind of part as a discussion theory person rather fun.
Oh.
Because you realize they put a lie detector semblance person in a dinner party with a lot of people that are hiding the truth.
Yep.
Like, Robin Hill being there, I feel like is going to bite
you done goofed Jacques.
Like, a bit. Because here's what's happening. We have Jacques, drinking this all in. His ego is like, it's like
on cloud 9.
Cloud 9. He's enjoying this so much.
Yep.
Now he's got 2 kind of. It's very Tarlock, councilman, councilwoman,
bitch 1,
echo
bitch
chamber.
2. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
and they're essentially just like, we'll echo what you say, Jacques, because Jacques is saying actually
really
semi-reasonable things.
Yeah.
Semi-reasonable things. His means by which he's doing is meant to just, troll and inflame Ironwood. But Ironwood is keeping his cool. Winter, of course, has the added connection of that this is her father,
right?
Who she probably hates the guts of, saying all this stuff. So she's like, I can only handle so much of this crap.
And the way they kept showing
like that was a great little character motif, little character quirk. That
was fantastic.
Yeah, to set the tone of the scene, because we understand the tension.
Oh, definitely.
But there be a specific character that experienced that tension tripled, over everyone else.
And we thought it was going to be Weiss, but no, that actually makes sense. While of course Jacques will have the pomp and the ceremony of everything, so there will be tons of people there. The actual conversation, it's none of the business of the other people there.
Right, exactly.
It's it's between the council. The people on the council, right?
And in some ways, it's cool that Ironwood he was probably able to have, like, you can have basically some people come in with you. Like, this isn't a super private conversation, but you probably aren't allowed to have Ruby and Juniper and all them in there.
Right, exactly.
So we're going to choose, Clover
Clover's
and
there.
Winter.
Clover's there, which,
one thing that I specifically want to kind of call out here is rather interesting, is that we don't know exactly. Okay. Let me backtrack here. Weiss being here, seems like the kind of thing where Jacques has so much ego with how he's basically won. It feels like. Okay, let me backtrack again. Those moments where you have a setting and you're like, ooh, everything's about to go really bad. But it's not actually about to go bad here. It's about to go bad somewhere else, and all the characters here are going to react to said thing, right?
Okay.
But then there's going to be other characters that are in cahoots with the thing happening way over there, so they're going to make proactive moves.
Yes.
Okay, which of these characters here actually do you think is going to make a proactive move based on things happening out there? I say 0.
Okay.
I don't think anyone is actually aware of what Watts is doing.
Right.
I don't think it has anything to do with Jacques' plan.
Okay. All right.
So the most proactive person I see in this whole episode right now is Weiss. She's going about there doing all of her, subterfuge stuff. She's connecting with her mom. She also found a connecting point for Whitley. What I'm saying is that if things came down to Jacques being in a position of vulnerability, Weiss could flip the tables extremely quickly and probably have, if she plays her cards right, the Schnee family on her side. Now, I don't think it could go that bad that quickly for Jacques necessarily. But I think in terms of the family dynamics, in terms of the relationships and stuff, that is how quick it could flip.
Well, yeah, because
if she ends up doing something clever and proactive here.
Right. What I love about this is that with the way that this whole volume has been written, really, by having all of these little things that are sprinkled throughout the episodes, you're giving basically
ammunition for future story.
Ammunition for future story, right? It's like you've got a bunch of fireworks that are sitting around with fuses on them, but you don't know how long the fuse is, right? So they could go pop at any moment, right? And they could potentially all go pop at the same time. And depending on the timing of when they go pop, that will drastically change what happens, right?
Yeah. So, and then you can have points where you revisit said fuses and push them a little bit faster, you know?
Exactly,
to excite us. You know?
Yeah, like in the same way that they had the whole thing of, you know, Winter being like, you couldn't pay me, you know, or you'd have to pay me, right?
It's foreshadowing for how tense she was in this situation.
Right, which of
here,
course we figured she would be, and there was the whole thing even then before when, you know, she avoided, you know, Jacques when he went to visit the area, right?
Yes.
But then there's also things like the fact that yes, Robin Hill has a veritaserum, you know, semblance, right? And she's in the room with them, and currently she seems pretty pissed at Ironwood, even though she just got information. So given that
she got
if there was any kind of reversal, it would be incredibly positive for Ironwood. And oh, by the way, Clover's there, so some good things are going to happen in that room, right? So you know, and given how it could go, and if Weiss suddenly just bursts in, it's like, oh, by the way, isn't this someone that's, you know, wanted or whatever? Like she talks to Winter or something like that, and then it's like, the hell? You know, this... Right.
Now, here's where I want to keikaku. Everything is a part of Jacques' plan.
All right.
Like, with Watts and stuff. This dinner is a pretense for Ironwood to take complete dictator executive power.
Okay.
And he will have a reason that points it in Jacques' direction. Like that there will be something that was done in that regard there.
All right.
And Ironwood doesn't necessarily have to take it, but my question is, do you think that Jacques is in on something like that, or that's something where Watts throws Jacques under the bus, and it's a thing of where, cool, now I don't care, I've set the ball in motion, everything starts going to be this domino effect of chaos.
Right.
I literally see him as being like an anti-V.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, being like up there and just going domino effect.
Right.
Because he's not doing things on the ground level with people's, like, you know, minds and thoughts, but he is affecting people's minds and thoughts on a fringe level by introducing basically the things that Salem touts as being, you know.
Well, and one of the things I'm really curious about is that, so, given that the heating grid is being shut down, right? Mantle's in trouble. Mantle is very quickly going to be in trouble. Chaos is a ladder. That's an opportunity for the people that are currently in power to basically get the first jump on
the change.
Right? You know, and if Ironwood,
anyone that has some kind of power.
Anyone who has some kind of power, right? Now, in that room, we have Jacques, Robin Hill, and Ironwood, and then the other two
council members,
but mainly the three of them, right? Robin's the one that will be the most concerned by it, of course, right? Jacques will pretend to be concerned by it and try and, you know, seize the opportunity and all that stuff. Ironwood is someone who will be concerned by it, but I'm guessing any responses that he will try and do will be things that will be inconvenient or get in the way of his plans or whatever. So will he ignore the people? Will he, you know, what will he do? And it'll probably be in kind of a lose-lose scenario, right?
Right.
Unless, of course, he's able to say get Robin on his side with the whole, you know, truth thing and maybe, you know, and potentially other stuff. But
Yeah. I want to bring up something, though, specifically from the previous episode. Something that, in my opinion, is rather chilling, because Weiss specifically brings up the heating grid that Atlas is also, like, where is it? Let me...
Yeah, that's a good point. That's one of those things where it's like, oh, they could still control the heating grid. It's like, wait, so they could just, like, kill everyone in Mantle, potentially? Like, or, you know, render it into some Ice Age state.
Yeah, where was it?
That's kind of bad.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so basically, because it runs in partnership with the Schnee Dust Company, this is the thing where Watts is essentially using the Schnee Dust Company as actually doing something, because all they have to do is go, wait, how did this happen? The Schnee Dust Company did it. Jacques, what are you doing?
Sure.
Are you attacking our own people? Are you like specifically trying to do this to influence the vote? Like, were you like doing things like this in the past, you know?
Right. Is that something because Watts has control over those systems, right?
Because Jacques, yeah.
Well, but or is it because of the old security systems?
No, because he said that basically that the there's a couple keys. Okay, well, I can bring it back.
We can just confirm it because.
Right. So none of those previous ones are Watts.
Right.
So in order to get access to the big network, basically, is someone, you know, or who oversees a few critical systems, like sewage or the heating grid.
Okay.
And then basically via run in partnership with the Schnee Dust Company. So,
okay.
So basically, if he wanted to full shut down things, like actually get more in depth into it, but also lead a specific trail that causes even more infighting, this is it.
Right, because in a lot of ways, even if they figure out that Jacques is
in cahoots,
doing dirty work or whatever, that's still division.
That's still division.
Because as slimy of a guy as Jacques is, he is incredibly powerful, and even if they're able to defeat him, right, that's still then something, that's still an aspect of Atlas that is weakened.
Right. Because what ends up happening is that Ironwood basically then either takes direct control of the, assuming direct control of the Schnee Dust Company or what have you, or basically slaps, Jacques' hand and gives him basically a little bit of a, like, back off kind of thing, and ends up basically causing the rift be something that gets publicized, or where he's just utilizing this, and doesn't have to be the final straw that breaks the camel's back or anything, but it's another thing where he's overreaching. But the reason why he's overreaching is because then the citizens of Mantle know, oh, this guy Jacques is like actively trying to
kill,
hurt your way of life in a way that is very serious. Now, in some ways I am extremely disturbed by the idea of the heating grid being shut down, because it's not about it being shut down, it's about it staying shut down.
Right.
I don't know if it's a singular, super everything runs through one thing, but I'd assume, actually, given how state-run, Atlas seems to be, very 1984 kind of thing, they probably have a super system and everything like that, where it's, partnered with the corporation that's their super mega monopoly corporation. Yeah. It doesn't take long for, a little cold snow to become, people hunkering in their homes, sleeping all together with around multiple blankets
and running short on food and
And do you remember? Do you remember the middle of Volume 6? Do you remember the Brunswick farms?
Well, yeah.
You think Ruby wouldn't do that again if things got really bad?
And then for the double tap, Atlas Falls. I mean,
just say, I really love the terror of the society slowly destabilizing, and what that looks like.
Me too. Yep.
Because it doesn't take much.
And what they're doing here, what one of the things that I love that they're doing, and you brought it up earlier, but they're giving Ironwood more legitimate reasons to want to take control of everything.
No, they're setting up more traps for him. in order to take direct control. Because it doesn't really matter how he does it,
right,
or what the legitimacy of the reason is.
Totally,
right.
But it's something that I love, that they're introducing all of these things where there will be issues that Ironwood will want to solve, but his method of solving them can only go so far, right?
His method of solving them, yeah,
right. And it's something where we can both be. Like, basically, it's a great way to have Ironwood go down a bad road without breaking his characterization.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Volume 2 set all this up.
Right.
And while he was definitely shafted as a character, afterwards, because in a lot of ways the story wasn't about him, that was important that they set up there so that when we come back to the Atlas arc, essentially.
Yep.
We don't see any of this as being out of left field. This is a guy that was absolutely hanging on every word Ozpin said.
And now Ozpin's gone.
And yet also was paranoid about the idea of all this power being in one man's hands. Ozpin, someone that he had to follow and trust. And he's like, I'm trying to do the best I can.
But I don't know.
I'm just one guy. I don't know.
Right.
It's ironic
that
the guy who was so terrified about the future because all this stuff was in the mind of one man who's now gone effectively. Oscar's still got him there, and that will become a thing in the future and stuff. Is now doing exactly what Ozpin did wrong in a lot of ways, but on a specific scale, because he has this one little goal that he's like, but if this works, then if my long shot works, then it'll all have been worth it, right?
We might just be able to pull off this Hail Mary, and then there you go, right?
I'm just glad that we actually are getting this Ironwood.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to when you some of the other Ironwood ideas that I was worried we might get.
This basically reminds me of like Boromir, but Boromir where you weren't made to kind of dislike Boromir because of the way he acted, right?
Yeah.
Because in
that's actually a good
in the Fellowship of the Ring
comparison.
When Boromir's introduced, he's almost immediately then we don't see the Boromir that we see in Two Towers, right? In the flashback, we don't see him in Fellowship of the Ring that way. Yeah. We just see the one that's being corrupted by the ring.
We're talking about the movies, by the
right?
way.
Yeah, we're talking about the movies, right? Yeah, because in the books, a lot more time to do things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But Boromir was one of those characters that I remember when I watched the movie, right? Because I was really young when I read the book, so I didn't really read into things as much, right?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I didn't really like Boromir,
he
right?
rubbed you the wrong way, not in terms of the way he was made to be unlikable in certain areas, but in the ways that his character was actually written.
Well, yeah, kind of. It was something where I wasn't able to get attached to him from the movies before he was made to be unlikable, right? And being in a character being unlikable can go a long way towards you being able to relate to them and root for them, even if you disagree with what they're doing, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But here, because they're keeping the characterization consistent with what Ironwood's doing, even though we know he's going towards that path where it's not going to end well, and it's like, no, stop, alert, Ironwood, turn the other way, right? It's something that isn't making me, it isn't making Ironwood unlikable for me, because I know his heart's in the right place, but he's going to do the wrong things, right?
Yeah.
But he's going to do some good things like along the way, and so I love it. I love it.
I love also that we end up in little moments here where he's not in a position of power, so he has to be...
Where's the underdog?
Patient, I would say. I would say in some ways, Ozpin's greatest asset probably was his patience, actually, which is also what made him so cold.
Right.
Is that he's just like, yeah, I'll just try again later. Yeah, you guys are all going to die at some point, and I can just do this all over again. Like, that's so chilling, right?
Yep.
Ironwood doesn't have unlimited lives or what have you. He has to get this right. But
the curse
in moments,
of mortality.
Right, exactly. But in this specific moment here, he has to kind of be patient and let this all kind of unfold in front of him so he can make actually a good decision. Which I would say is generally the mark of a good leader. Which means that if we do have some chaos, we do have something where the characters here get an opportunity to react in a way that leads to them being proactive, depending on who on our antagonist side is actually aware of what's going on here with Watts, our protagonist can flip the tables specifically on Jacques very quickly.
Yeah.
And that is what I predict will happen.
Right.
If things go well.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
If
it goes well.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Then it's a deploy the military, riots in Mantle.
Yep.
People.
Riots, no, starvation and
No. It's a day, Jacob. Come on.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's more like there are people that are on the streets. Then what are they supposed to do?
Right.
This place that was probably a generally temperate thing just became a hostile environment. Yeah.
Right. What I love so much about this is that it's increasing the stakes, right? It's the tensions are rising, right? It's constantly getting like it's building. It's building. But perpetually there is an option, there's a very legitimate chance for it to go very well or very badly. And we're not entirely sure which one is going to happen. Probably a mixture of both. But we don't know. And it keeps building. Like that's what I just absolutely love about this.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Weiss' little just like, ooh, I'm gonna get some info out of this. And then the cut off of her thing there, meaning she has unlimited time as far as the plot goes to let her figure out whatever she wants to figure out.
Right.
Yeah. That's exciting. Which means maybe in some ways this is where Watts actually takes a little bit of a back seat.
Who knows?
He jumps out of the frame for a little bit and goes, "Yeah, I did my piece." Salem,
right?
Chaos is just an amorphous ball of like sludge, and it's just going to attract all
things
kinds
for
of
you to strike. Maybe
like maybe say like it'll take a week. And that's when things will have completely gone to hell from this.
Right.
Because maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Like, this is actually a way they could get things to be rather clever in terms of just a snowball sequence of events. It might be a little bit, plot contrivancy, but have the heating grid just stay off. What naturally happens, right? If Watts basically puts things into a permanent state of where he actually has control of the network, and they spend a lot of like a few days or a week basically trying to get it back from him.
Yeah.
And he's in a different location, like fighting their cyber attacks or what have you. You have people who are in Mantle freaking out. You have people rioting and actually causing a lot of problems. Atlas responds in a way that tries to suppress things. That usually doesn't go over perfectly. Usually it gets messy.
Yeah.
If it gets even messier, Tyrion gets involved.
Sure.
Tyrion gets involved.
Keeps doing what he's doing
his thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then things get violent. Then it's we need to commandeer Atlas tech and get up to Atlas, not just to, escape the cold, but to let our message be heard, essentially.
Revolution.
Then Robin is already a natural, leader for people there. She gets pushed into a situation where she doesn't even necessarily want to, which is, I won't stop until I know the truth.
Right.
And she could definitely take Atlas Tech, get to Atlas Academy, walk probably through a majority of the things there, and then we get Aesop's versus Robin Hill's squad.
Yeah.
We also end up in situations where, Team RWBY and stuff have to figure out, wait, what's the best move for us here? Do we let them play this out and we try to solve the thing that's going on behind this? Weiss probably would be a part of that because she knows that there's something else going on.
Definitely, and she'll probably tell the others,
Which means in some ways I think she would just go directly to Jacques. Formality be damned. Like, put a...
in the middle of the dinner, that would be pretty crazy.
No, not necessarily in the middle of the dinner.
Oh, okay.
But like if she doesn't get escorted off the premises when things go crazy, I think it might be more of a thing of where like, Jacques, where do you think you're going? We have to talk. And then he's like, I have nothing to say to you. And she just says, oh, really? And then she pulls out her summon. Like, I'm not saying like she has to get violent with him or anything
she could
like
also
that.
She could also straight up just do like an Iron Man, Tony Stark to Loki conversation of, no, I don't think you understand. Even if, blah, blah, blah. In what world do you come out on top, right? Like this isn't going to end well for you. Do you know who you're in bed with? Like,
that would be clever, but I think that would require the team almost.
Yes.
And it would be not an Iron Man conversation, but it would be a, have you ever heard the name Salem? And he'd been like, who? What?
Sure. Yeah.
And then they just slowly start to unpack things and just go, we don't know who you're dealing with, but right now, yeah, and we go, we're going to exposit you, Overlord of Darkness, and it like cuts through the conversation. We don't need to hear much more of it than the beginning. And at the end of it, he's like, that was a ridiculous tale.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's wonderful. And, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to stand for any of this. And then they're like, okay, well, we're gonna be doing our thing here now because, you know, this is bad and we need you to give us what we need to know.
And that's one of the things where, like,
I don't know.
There are so many situations where Robin Hill's Semblance could do so much. Like, it's the thing where it's so like, true. You know, the DM wants to do some intrigue, mystery, whatever, misdirect, political, whatever. And there's a paladin that's up, you know, okay, level 5, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they can cast Zone of Truth.
Why don't you want to go into the Zone of Truth? Do you have something to hide?
Right. Well, you don't have to answer things in the Zone of Truth. We just need to know specific things. Did you murder my brother? Right. Or do you work for my brother? Yeah. Like things like that. Right.
Right.
And oh my God. Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's head to
the
next episode of this dinner party. What if this dinner party is just the rest of the volume? It's just a really dramatic sequence of events playing out. No, I'm just kidding. Probably wouldn't do that. No. Yeah, pacing wise. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below. It's a timer reaction there, so you can sync up your footage and what have you, because we don't showcase anything before Rooster Teeth lets us, because we respect their stuff like that. You should too. But yeah, if you want to get access to our Discord, any level of support can get you that, and you can chat with us in the community there about RWBY, about stories in general, anime, what have you, like Jacob's sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. If you like dictator stuff, like what they've been doing with Iron Daddy here, then you should definitely read my sci-fi novel Battle Lines. It's awesome. It's available for purchase on Amazon. Link is in the description. It's in both hardback and ebook, so whichever works best for you, go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.